name. This is Dr. Jeniffer Mundy coming to you once more another time. Today we're going to start reading the book of Isaiah, one of the major prophetical books of the Bible, and I will begin. Lord bless you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you. Isaiah chapter 1. The vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. So here we are started off with Isaiah, who was the son of Amos, and he saw a vision. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. So Isaiah's prophecy was to the Jews, were to God's children. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. So when God calls it, he calls it to a particular nation, he calls it to a particular people, he calls it to a particular time. He gives you an assignment, and he gives you a grace for it. Isaiah was a prophet, and his people were to the Jewish nation. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Why should he be stricken anymore? He will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollied with ointment. Your country is desolate, your cities are burnt with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence. It is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. And the daughters of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Saith the Lord, I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, nor of lambs, or of eagles. So what God delights in is a pure heart, one who serves him, one who obeys his commandment. When he come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand, to out courts. Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination to me. The new moons and Sabbath, the calling of the assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. So what God was telling Isaiah to warn is that every day you come, you sacrifice, the new moon, the Sabbath, the incense. I'm tired of it, because you just come, it's like a ritual, and that's why the law could not do everybody. Jesus Christ died once and for all. God is tired of the ritualistic worship. God is not a God of rituals. God is a God of the heart. Your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hated. They are trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. So even though God is the one who gave the commandment for these sacrifices to take place, but without meaning, without change. What God is saying, that it is ritualistic. And so when we come to worship God in today's world, if it is just the act of religious sacrilege, God does not honor that. And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide my hands from you. Meaning that when you worship, I will not hear you. Yea, when you make many prayers, I will not hear you. Your hands are full of blood. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow. Come now and let us reason together. So Isaiah is giving a prophetic warning to the Jewish nation, and that is also for us. Saith the Lord, though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If he be willing and obedient, he shall eat the good of the land. But if he refuse and rebel, he shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. How is the faithful city become an harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. Thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water. Thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth gifts and followeth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doeth the cause of the widow come unto them. Therefore saith the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries and avenge me of mine enemies. And I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away thy dross and take away all thy sin, thy tin. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. And that Isaiah is prophesying what is to come. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converse with righteousness. And the destruction of the transgressors of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. For they shall be ashamed of the oaks which ye have desired, and he shall be confounded for the gardens that ye have chosen. For he shall be as an oak whose leaf faded, and as a garden that hath fire. And the strong shall be as tow, and the maker of it as a spark. And they shall both burn together, and none shall quench them. Isaiah chapter 2. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. So now this is a prophecy for Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord of Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So Isaiah here is talking about even the millennial reign of Christ. O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord. Therefore thou hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and are south soothsayers like the Philistines, and they please themselves in the children of strangers. Neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is also full of horses, neither is there any end of their chariots. Their land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself. Therefore forgive them not. Enter into the rock, and hide thee in the dust, for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low, and upon all the cedars of land, all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all pleasant pictures. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of man shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day, and the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, for the fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself, to worship, to the moles and to bats, to go into the clefts of the rock and into the tops of the rocks for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. Cease ye from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he be accounted of. So Isaiah is prophesying what things to come. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doeth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah and stay, and the staff, and the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50, the honorable man and the counselor and the cunning artificer and the eloquent orator. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them, and the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. When a man shall take hold of his brother or of the house of his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be on their hand. In that day shall he answer, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory. The shew of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their souls, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of the paths. The Lord standeth up to plead, and standeth to judge the people. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people, and the princes thereof, for he have eaten up the vineyard, and the spoil of the poor is in their houses. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces, and grind the faces of the poor, saith the Lord God of hosts? Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord shall smite with a scab and crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments around their feet, and their coils and their round tires like the moon. So they are worshiping and dancing to idol. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels. So it's the nose jewels is not of today. The changeable suits of apparel and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well set their baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of the sackcloth and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Now, these are the prophecy that was given that will befall Jerusalem because of the disobedience of the children of Israel. And now I'm going to read Isaiah chapter 4. As you come in, everybody, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. Appreciate you for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. DTI, thank you so much for coming in. Please subscribe. Thank you, DTI. Thank you for coming in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remained in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. Thank you so much, Diti. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. I appreciate you. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defense. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for the covered from storm and from rain. And now I am in Isaiah chapter 5. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved, touching his vineyard, my well-beloved at a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. Thank you for subscribing, Diti. Thanks. And he fetched it fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine and built a tower in the midst of it and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the edge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. And I will lay it waste, it shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the claws and that they rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah is pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. In my ears, said the Lord of hosts, of a truth many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair, without inhabitant. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield one bath, and the seed of Omer shall yield an ephah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, and continue until night, till wine inflame them. So Isaiah was warning Jerusalem and the Jews and Judea what is going to happen. And the harp and the viol, the tabret and pipe and wine are in their feast, but they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. That is when they were taken into captivity by Babylon. Therefore Elot enlarge herself and open her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. You notice the pomp and pride, that's what happened with Lucifer. And the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled, but the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. So even in judgment, God will be exalted. Then shall the lambs feed with their manner, and the waste places of the fat ones shall strangers eat. So in everything, God is going to be glorified and exalted, to show that he's the one who has the final say. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin, as it were, with a cart rope, that say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, but and that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And that's what we're seeing happening today. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. We're seeing that happening today. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall also go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore is the anger of the Lord kindled against his people, and he had stretched forth his hand against them, and had smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. And he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. And behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. None shall be weary nor stumble among them. None shall slumber nor sleep. Neither shall the girdle of their loins be loose, nor the latchet of their shoes be broken. Whose arrows are sharp, and all their bows bent. Their horses' hoofs shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. Their roaring shall be like a lion. They shall roar like young lions. Yea, they shall roar and lay hold of the prey, and shall carry it away safely, and none shall deliver it. And in that day they shall roar against them like the roaring of the sea. And if one look unto the land, behold, darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof. Isaiah 6. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. So now Isaiah is moving away into giving his experience of the vision that he saw. And King Uzziah was the king at the time of Isaiah. And Isaiah was a prophet during the time of King Uzziah. For every king, there's a prophet. Isaiah was to King Uzziah, like Nathan to David, right? And so he's given his example that this year King Uzziah died, and what Isaiah is going to give us a description of what seraphim's angel looks like, which is the highest category of angels. Above it stood the seraphims, each one had 6 wings. So Isaiah is telling us there are different types of angels and one classification of angels. The first classification, the highest order, are seraphims, and seraphims have 6 wings, right? With 2 wings covered his face, with 2 wings covered his feet, and with 2 wings they fly. And one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy is the Lord of hosts, the whole earth is full of his glory. So seraphims are angels that give worship. That is their assignment. They give worship unto God. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of people of unclean lips, for mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. So Isaiah had an experience now with the Lord, and his life was never the same. And he's crying out. He's crying out, saying, Woe is he, for he is undone, and that he dwells in the midst of unclean people. And when Isaiah saw him state, because the more you see the presence of the Lord is the more you see your sinful nature, then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken from the thongs from off the altar. So in the presence of God, there's a burning altar, live with coal, live with fire. And one of the angels took it off, and he laid it upon Isaiah's mouth and said, Lo, this hath touched my lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin be purged. Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? So now Isaiah is prophesying the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, because now when he's purged, when he's cleansed, he's not only able to see, but now he's also able to hear in the realms of the spirit. So when God gave you a vision and you had an encounter, your life will never be the same. And now, not having talking about encounter with the devil, encounter with the Lord, and now Isaiah was touched, and now when he was cleansed, when he was purged, then he can hear in the realms of the spirit. And then now he heard the voice saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said, Here am I, send me. So Isaiah is relating in his own personal writing what he heard, the conversation in heaven, that the question was asked, who to send to die for Adam's fallen race, and nobody could answer, only one that said, Here am I, send me, and that is the voice of Jesus Christ himself. And he said, Go and tell this people, hear indeed, but understand not, and see indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, Until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate, and the Lord have removed men far away, and there be a great forsaking in the midst of the land, but yet in it shall be a tent, and it shall return, and shall be eaten as a teal tree, and as an oak, whose substance is in them. When they cast their leaves, so the holy seed shall be the substance thereof. So this is all concerning the prophecy of Jesus Christ, that Isaiah got that prophecy and revelation from the Lord to go prepare and to tell the people of his vision. And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that Rezim, the king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, went up toward Jerusalem to war against it, but could not prevail against it. And it was told the house of David, saying, Syria is confederate with Ephraim, and his heart was moved, and the heart of his people, and the trees of the wood are moved with the wind. Then said the Lord unto Isaiah, Go forth now to meet Ahaz, thou and Shear Jazub thy son, at the end of the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fullest field. So what you need to understand too, so sometimes one prophet also serve many kings, and say unto him, Take heed and be quiet, because after Uzziah, then Ahaz came in as king. So now we're seeing that Isaiah is serving under two administrations here. Fear not, neither be faint-hearted, for the two tails of these smoking firebrands, for the fierce anger of Rezin with Syrian of the son of Remaliah. So I don't want for you to be afraid, to be scared of reading the Bible, because it will explain itself, but you won't know if you don't try. And you have to constantly do it, and then you get to know the word more. Because Syria, Ephraim, and the son of Remaliah have taken evil counsel against thee, saying, Let us go up against Judah and vex it, and let us make a breach therein for us, and set a king in the midst of it, even the son of Tabeel. Thus said the Lord God, it shall not stand, neither shall it come to pass. For the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin, and with 65 years shall Ephraim be broken, and shall not be a people. And the head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is Remaliah's son. If he will not believe, surely he shall not be established. Moreover, the Lord spake unto me, unto Ahaz, saying, so Isaiah is one of the major prophets based on the narrative and his prophecies, that his prophecies were not only just to a set people, but his prophecies was also to kings and to nations, and what will happen to the economy, what will happen to the social life, what will happen to the people themselves. So Isaiah prophecy was to challenge the highest level in government. Ask thee a sign of the Lord thy God. Ask it either in the depth or in the height above. But Ahaz said, I will not ask, neither will I tempt the Lord. And he said, Hear ye now, O house of David, is it a small thing for you to re-remain? But will he re-remain my God also? So Ahaz refused to do what God asked told him to do, and he insulted God. And God is saying that you don't believe that I can do anything that you ask? Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. So here is the prophetic timeline, because Jesus Christ was not yet fulfilled in the flesh. So Emmanuel means God with us. But butter and honey shall he eat. So now we're knowing the meat, the food of Jesus. He eat butter, he eat honey, that he may know how to refuse the evil and choose the good. For before the child shall know how to refuse the evil and choose the good, the land that thou abhorrest shall be forsaken of both her kings. The Lord shall bring upon thee and upon thy people and upon thy father's house days that have not come, from the day that Ephraim departed from Judah, even the king of Syria. So what is happening now? Isaiah is setting the stage for the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, because after a while, then there will be no more kings, there will be no more prophet really having an open vision concerning the prophetic timeline in which Jesus should be born. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall hiss for the fly that is in the uttermost part of the rivers of Egypt, and for the bee that is in the land of Assyria. And they shall come and shall rest all of them in the desolate valleys, and in the holes of the rocks, and upon all the thorns, and upon all bushes. In the same day shall the Lord shave with a razor that is hired, namely by them beyond the river, by the king of Assyria, the head and the hair of the feet, and it shall also consume the beard. And it shall come to pass in that day that a man shall nourish a young cow and 2 sheep, and it shall come to pass for the abundance of milk that they shall give, he shall eat butter, for butter and honey shall every one eat that is left in the land. And it shall come to pass in that day that every place shall be where there were 1,000 vines and 1,000 silverlings. It shall be for briars and thorns. With arrows and with bows shall men come thither, because all the land shall become briars and thorns, and on all is that shall be digged with the mattock. There shall not come Hitler the fear of briars and thorns, but it shall be for the sending forth of an oxen and for the treading of lesser. And the mattock here is an instrument that is used to dig the earth. It's like a fork, but it is not shaped like a fork. It has like a round mouth, and you dig it and you pull back the earth. Isaiah chapter 8. And I think I'm going to stop at Isaiah chapter 8, because by then I have to go. Moreover, the Lord said unto me, Take thee a great roll and write it with a man's pen concerning Mahershalalhashbaz, And I took unto me faithful witnesses to record Uriah the priest and Zechariah the son of Jeberechiah. So Isaiah was not only just a prophet, but he was also a writer, a scribe. And I went unto the prophetess, and she conceived and bare a son. So now a lot of people didn't know that Isaiah had a wife, and Isaiah was married, and Isaiah had a son. I went unto the prophetess. So the prophetess here is his wife, and she conceived and bare a son. Then said the Lord unto me, call his name Mahershalalhashbaz. That is the name of Isaiah's son. For before the child shall have knowledge to cry, my father and my mother, the riches of Damascus and the spoil of Samaria shall be taken away before the king of Syria. The Lord spake also unto me again, saying, for as much as this people refuse at the waters of Shiloh, that go softly and rejoice in Rezim and Remaliah's son. Now therefore, behold, the Lord bringeth up upon them the waters of the river, strong and many, even the king of Assyria and all his glory, and he shall come up over all his channels and go over all his banks, and he shall pass through Judah. He shall overflow and go over. He shall reach even to the neck, and the stretching out of his wings shall fill the breadth of thy land, O Emmanuel. Associate yourselves, O people, and ye shall be broken in pieces, and give ear all your far countries. Gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces, and gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces. Take counsel together, and it shall come to naught. Speak the word, and it shall not stand, for God is with us. For the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of his people, saying, say ye not a confederacy to all them to whom this people shall say, a confederacy, neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid. Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense. So that's what God is going to come. The Lord is going to be a stone of stumbling, a rock of offense, because he's come to correct sin, right? And a stumbling and a rock of offense to both the house of Israel, for a grin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So that's why they didn't accept him, because he wasn't coming in for the righteous, it was coming for sinners to repentance. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. And I will wait upon the Lord, that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the children of whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel, for the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirit, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, should not the people seek unto their God, for the living to the dead, to the law, and to the testimony? If they speak not according to his word, it is because there is no light in them. And they shall pass through it, hardly bestowed and hungry. And it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their God, and look upward. And they shall look unto the earth, and behold, trouble and darkness, divers of anguish, and they shall be driven to darkness. And this ends Isaiah chapter 8. I will come back later and I will read more of this chapter. God bless you. Dr. Jeniffer Mundy signing out. God bless you. Please hit the subscribe, notification button as you come in. God bless.